And we're joined on the phone today by actress Laura Prepon. You might know her from That 70s Show or Orange is the New Black, but today we're talking about her new book, You and I as Mothers, A Raw and Honest Guide to Motherhood. Hey Laura, how you doing today?
Hi, how are you?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time with me today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Well, let's talk about your new book here, You and I as Mothers, A Raw and Honest Guide to Motherhood. Can you tell the listeners a bit about it?
Yes, I originally wrote this book because I felt like there was so many things, resources for us to turn to during pregnancy, during the 9 months of pregnancy. And then after that, I couldn't find a resource for the rest of my life, essentially. I felt like there were all these books on parenting, but there was nothing that actually spoke to me as the mother. And that's why I wrote this book, to fill that void. And not only do I share my own personal stories and give all of these different tricks and tools, but I interview my Mom Squad, which is a group of eclectic women from all different ages, different backgrounds, different age children, to speak with their own experiences and give their own tools so that anybody can read the book and get something out of it. And it's been out for about a week now, and the response has been overwhelmingly amazing. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it is interesting. A lot of things, like you mentioned in the book, happen to everyone usually, but nobody kind of talks about it. So it's interesting that it took this long for a book like this to be out there.
Yeah, I feel like there's still so much, when it comes to what we deal with. Mothers of all ages, by the way, I feel like there's still a lot that is kind of shrouded in secrecy. And I feel like more now, especially in the Me Too movement, I feel like women are being more open about the struggles. But to me, I still feel like there was a conversation that we needed to have, which is what my impetus was for really, dropping my defenses, sharing my truths to get this conversation started. And it's been amazing.
And it seems with everything going on now in the world, most people staying at home with their kids 24/7. Things probably way more stressful now than they've ever been.
Oh yeah, and there's so many things that I speak to in the book, whether it's stress reduction techniques or dealing with the loss of control, how to nourish yourself and your family with a lot of limited time and extra time with your kids because of isolation. There's so many things that I write about in the book that people can relate to right now, which is what they're telling me, which is pretty amazing. There's a lot of people who read the book who aren't mothers yet or may choose not to be, that are still getting so much out of it because it does speak to all these common themes that we're dealing with. Which is amazing. And that was one of my goals for writing this book was, to speak to all these common things that we're all dealing with and give you tools to better cope with them.
Well, and of course, you have a lot of stuff going on in your life. As a parent, has it been tough for you to kind of find a balance between, your career and being a parent?
I feel, yes, it has been. Another thing I write about in the book, but when I went back to work at 6 weeks, and it was really hard for me. I had a lot of mom guilt, and I had a lot of guilt in general surrounded around. And also when I'm, working on a set, we have long hours. It's not a typical 9 to 5. And when I'm directing, because I was directing by the time my daughter was 4 months old, those hours were even longer. So it's a constant negotiation of this mom guilt that I have, and mothers of all ages have that until their kids are like out of the house. I mean, there's always this, it's kind of like this tug of war between time with work and time with your kids. And a stay-at-home parent is just as hard, as a lot of us are really having boots on the ground experience right now. Like you see how hard it is to really be a stay-at-home parent. But yeah, I mean, it's a constant negotiation juggling work and parenthood because the time goes by so quickly. And that's why now with the self-isolation and the social distancing, I'm really trying to stay present and be with my family because this time goes so quickly. And there's plenty of times where I would be on a set and I would miss a milestone for one of my kids. And a lot of people go through that. It's a hard negotiation, but I just always have to know that I do quality over quantity. Because there's plenty of times where you're with your family and it's not quality time. You're distracted by emails, you're on your phone, you're not even present. So I feel like really having a thing of quality over quantity has really helped me a lot. And that's something that I also write about in my book.
Excellent. Again, the book, You and I as Mothers, A Raw and Honest Guide to Motherhood, is out now. And Laura, you mentioned your work. A lot of people, of course, know you from that 70s show, a lot from Orange is the New Black. It's cool you have these kind of two iconic roles you're known for, and they're so different from each other.
Very. Very different. Yeah, no, it's amazing. Look, to have been on, especially nowadays when there's so many things pulling our attention. I mean, you pull up, Netflix and you're just inundated with shows and movies and all these things, and now there's Apple, Apple now is doing original programming, and you have all the Amazon shows. There's so many things pulling our attention that to be on two shows like this that are just wonderful and amazing and are a big part of people's lives. I mean, that 70s show went for 8 years and Orange went for 7. That's like unheard of now for a show to be a staple like that and to run that long, because there's just the turnover so quick now. And there's so many things pulling your attention that it's not lost on me. Like, I know how fortunate I am to have been not only to represent these incredible women like Donna Pinciotti and Alex Vause, but just to be on a show that is a part of people's lives like that it's a true gift. And it's rare. It's very rare.
Excellent. Again, Laura, I am a huge fan, and, as you mentioned, I have been for a long time, and it's been great speaking with you today. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you for having me.
And again, that was actress Laura Prepon, and her new book, You and I as Mothers, A Raw and Honest Guide to Motherhood, is available now.